It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the box office dynasty.
Okay.
With your heroes, I'm Josh.
And I'm Jack.
We're here to save your day, folks.
We are
possibly your whole week. With a brand new episode. Brought to you by nothing. Because we're not sponsored by anybody.
But we should be, and we're waiting for it.
We're waiting for it. We are. Superman, folks. Superman has hit theaters with a bang, hasn't it? So that's what we're gonna that's what's dominating the episode today. Not no other way to put it, really. We're gonna talk all things Superman, from the story, our reactions to it. We're gonna talk box office numbers as always. So we're gonna talk a little bit in detail about how Superman's opening weekend looked from that perspective. But we're really excited to just get into how this film was, and what the future of the DCU is going to look like as a result, how it fits in to some of our other favorite DC films in the past. And then later on, we're going to talk about some reviews for a couple other shows that came out recently, Squid Game Season 3 and The Bear Season 4. So a lot going on right now, really.
Speaking of Superman, why don't you look down real quick?
Yeah, look at my shirt. Well, if you're listening on Spotify, you can't look, so just bear with us for a moment. But so I got this from Killian, actually, who was on last week for our Jurassic Park episode.
That is simultaneously one of the worst shirts I've ever seen and one of the best ones.
I honestly never wear it, but
you need a special occasion.
But for this, I was like, I got to.
You
we're
should
talking
wear that to,
Superman
like, a
this week. Yeah, my wedding.
Yeah.
I just, good. So hey, I'm single. If there's anyone out there who wants to get married and thinks their dream guy is wearing the Justice League as the Family Guy characters,
I know
the Griffin family, when you're being walked down the aisle, I'm your guy.
We'll get some DMs for sure.
Oh,
we're not gonna be able to read through all of them.
Let's that's our fan mail right there.
That's right. We need a PO
Jack,
box.
I'll wear it to your wedding too. I'll wear it to everybody's.
I'd invite it. I would allow that.
I can't. I'm just the best man toast. I'm gonna give it, but I'm gonna do all the impressions of the Family Guy characters, like being the Justice League characters. Just
like
go
now
in a
I'm
circle.
Stewie.
Like I'm Stewie. Who is he again? I don't even remember.
He's Robin.
He's Robin. Yeah. I
like how you're looking through the camera instead of just looking down.
Because the camera's right in front of me.
I know.
I don't have to move
Robin,
my
dude.
head. He's Robin. Yeah, you're right. I could look down. I like that Brian's Batman. Do you think Brian would actually be Batman? What?
Well, then you talk about the relationship between Batman and Robin. And
yeah,
a lot
all
of
right,
people
that's
think
fair.
Batman
but
touches Robin low key.
What?
You never heard that?
All right, dude, that's going to be the top part of the future of the DCU. Like,
bro,
is that why it's called The Brave and the Bold?
Maybe because he's just be a little brave.
Because he's just very bold. He's like, Robin, get the fuck over here.
The original Robin wears the tiniest shorts, and he's 11 years old. Batman, why are you making him wear that, dude? You fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, but Batman also chooses to wear what he wears, and no one's making him wear that. So
I know, because he's a psycho.
Yeah. It's not like, Spider-Man, I know that's Marvel, not DC, but it's not like Spider-Man gets bit by a spider and, has to, I guess, look like a spider because he does spider things. Like, Batman just chose to be a bat.
Yeah, because he was, scared of bats at one time.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's like, bro, I was scared of the fucking, I don't know, the ocean one time. I'm dressed up like water.
I was like, so if I'm scared of death, am I going to walk around dressed as the Grim Reaper? Just,
maybe.
Fucking saving people? I think that's just going to fucking confuse everybody.
That'd be so terrifying.
Imagine a superhero dressed as the Grim Reaper. That's confusing as fuck.
Dude, look at Ghost Rider. He's a fucking flaming skeleton.
Yeah, he's just a flaming skeleton who rides a motorcycle.
That's horrific.
That's sick. That is horrific. That's something out of fucking hell. Well,
yeah, literally.
Anyway, I speaking of hell, we need Jesus, so we'll find him not in the Bible, but the film Bible. Look at that. The transitions just write themselves.
The segue's crazy.
Where the fucking, where's the sponsors at? Come on, man.
Sponsored by, we need money.
Sponsored by fucking nobody. Come on. So last time we watched Shock Corridor, which Jack, I wanted to note, actually, you know what that film really reminded me of? And I didn't think of it until after we did the episode. That film really reminded me a lot of Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese's Shutter Island. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's definitely a lot of like inspiration in the stories. And I was thinking about that a lot. And I was like, holy shit. Like there's a whole lot to unpack there about Shock Corridor and Shutter Island. And I totally didn't even.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of inspiration that Shutter Island took from it. I'm not gonna say, even though I saw Shutter Island before Shock Corridor, Shutter Island came way after. So,
yeah.
But anyway, I literally made a note just because I wanted to bring that up here on the pod.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I didn't get to bring it up last week.
Yeah.
But this time, looking ahead, we're gonna pick a new one. So we have all the numbers in the wheel, and just a reminder for everyone: if yours doesn't get picked, it does roll over again. So like, keep commenting them. We have a decent amount this time.
So. We always I'm always thinking clip brain, right? So we're about to roll, or what is it? We're about to spin the wheel for the Bible study segment from our film Bible. So we have this book of movies from the New York Times. It's 1,000 essential movies to watch. And what we do is we have you guys, the viewers, comment on all our social medias, our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, Spotify, make a comment. Just comment a random number, 24 through 1,265 or something. And we put it in a wheel every other week or every 2 weeks, and we spin it, and we watch the movie that you pick, and then we review it. So last week was Shock Corridor. The week before that was Get Out. So there's some modern movies in there. There's some old movies. And Josh right now is about to spin the next number, and we're going to find out what we're watching next.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready. I got my book.
I got mine, too. I got to get it ready, actually. Hold on. Last time we rolled, I didn't have it ready. I was scrolling around like a goof.
Fucking idiot.
And we're rolling. Whoa, on the line. Just crossed over 665.
What, we almost got 666. It's crazy.
No, we almost got 555.
Oh.
All right,
okay.
665.
I see it.
Oh, oh my God. Okay, I saw it. You want to say it or should I?
You got it.
This week, or this time, I keep saying that, we are watching M, the 1931 film by Fritz Lang. I just watched this last October for the first time.
Really? I've never seen it. I've never heard of it.
You wouldn't have. It is a very well-known film, like in film history, I guess, so to speak. It's a German thriller about a serial killer named Hans Beckert who preys on children, and he becomes the focus of a massive police manhunt. And his crimes are so repellent to the city life that he's now targeted by other criminals in the underground network as well. So with cops and criminals both on his tail, what's it say here? He realizes it sends him into he goes on this like panic attack to try and escape being caught.
Actually sounds pretty good, but it's German.
Yes.
I
made by
I hate
Fritz Lang, who also made Metropolis. It's another well-known Fritz Lang film. He was a very influential early era filmmaker.
Metropolis, Superman.
Yeah. Well, there definitely is inspiration there, but there's no Superman in that Metropolis movie.
So
I saw M.
In 2 weeks we'll watch M.
Yes, we are. It's actually like kind of a funny movie at times. I mean, I don't know, like,
where can I watch it?
I have to look it up. I don't remember where I saw it.
Got it.
But I'll let you know. I think it held up well. That's all I'll say for now, considering it's a 93-year-old movie.
Yeah, Jesus.
And it's a German film, and I do think that like I understand its importance in film history and why it inspired other filmmakers, but I didn't think it was like a 10 out of 10 film. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll have to give it another watch, I guess, now.
Yeah,
but
you got it.
Yeah. All right. So M it is.
All right.
Jack, you must fucking hate this segment.
I really, I looked below M. Did you see what the one below M was?
Yeah, I did.
I wish we got that.
Dude, that's crazy. But would you have watched the others first? I'm not going to say what it is, but
I guess I would. No, probly not.
just fucking, I guess you didn't have to with
I'd probably
those.
just watch it.
Anyway, but yeah, fucking maybe next time. So whoever commented 665, thank you for that. Your movie M will be watched by us or fucking rewatched by me. That's the third one now that wait, how many of them have I? No, it's the second one I've seen already. I'd seen Get Out, and now I've seen M.
Yeah, well, make sure you guys comment your numbers, and we'll
yes, please give us more numbers,
wheel.
and we're gonna watch them. Jack wants you to comment 666. So someone out there,
666 is a good movie. I've never seen it, but I want to.
Yeah,
just saying.
Who's gonna dance with the devil to comment that one?
I wish someone would.
All right, well, I guess we're going to move on. So that is the Bible study draw for this week. And now it is time for some box office numbers. And this is a really exciting week for the box office. There's a few different things that I want to highlight here with you, Jag.
Okay.
Before we say the top 5, we have been on the Billy Watch here all year waiting for a movie to hit $1 billion. No movie in 2025 has crossed $1 billion yet. In 7th place this year is Lilo and Stitch. This week is Lilo and Stitch. On the domestic chart, its worldwide total, though, I checked it, $994 million.
Dude, they're gonna hit it. Like, I didn't think they would, but
you know what it is? It's the global markets. I think that this has stronger legs overseas because it only made 2.7 million this week. It was its 8th week of release, and is competing with quite a lot. So I think it's the global audience because it's Lilo and Stitch is what's carrying it. But yeah, 994. So it's close. And Minecraft, I checked for reference, is like 955 million at this point. I doubt it's really playing anywhere. So.
I'm kind of glad that didn't make $1 billion. At least first.
I know, just to like prove a point.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, moving into our top 5 though for the weekend of July 11th to the 13th. In 5th place, making 3.9 million, just shy of another 4 million in its 4th weekend of release, is Pixar's Elio. Not too bad for that. In 4th place, in its 5th weekend of release, still holding strong with $7.8 million is How to Train Your Dragon. Okay. This movie is over halfway to $1 billion itself. Like, I don't think it's gonna get there, obviously, but that's a really good worldwide total for it. 560 million, almost $561 million.
I thought it'd do better than Lilo and Stitch, so I'm kind of waiting for that to cross over.
I didn't, and I don't think How to Train Your Dragon is going to hit $1 billion. But I do think that, like, considering that is a wide margin for the best in that franchise. So
yeah.
In 3rd place, in its 3rd weekend of release, making it even $13 million, is F1 the movie. So that's pretty good for Apple and led by Brad Pitt. I loved it. In 2nd place, in its 2nd weekend of release, another $40 million domestically, is Jurassic World Rebirth. Mm-hmm. But make no mistake, this has been maybe not a critical success. It definitely has had mixed reviews. Even on our podcast alone, had mixed reviews. But this movie, in only 2 weeks, is at about $530 million globally, because it's doing very well around the world.
Yeah, and I loved it, so I think it should.
So Jurassic World Rebirth could be well on its way to continuing the trend of the $1 billion franchise.
Yeah, every movie.
I know you were concerned about it.
Because the last Jurassic World movie barely touched $1 billion, so I was afraid this one wouldn't make it.
I agree, but so far the returns are still very good for this movie. And in first place, the film of the week, making $122 million domestically in its opening weekend, is Superman. So Superman, I want to talk a little bit about its box office because it's very interesting to me. So it made $122 million opening weekend here in the United States. It's the third biggest opening weekend of the year behind Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch, two movies we both thought were going to make $1 billion, both right there at the 1 yard line, and Lilo and Stitch still looking like it might squeak over. So that's pretty strong company for Superman to be in. It made $217 million globally for its opening weekend across 78 different markets. And I did, you know what, like that, I don't know like all the different markets, because a lot of this, I'm going to shout out, I don't know if you follow them on Instagram, Screen Thrill, but they compile a lot of information together. So even though I get the general numbers like of the 122 and 217 from Box Office Mojo, I'll give them a lot of credit because they knew the amount of like actual markets they were in. So I thought that was cool. And it's the first DC film to break 100 million in its opening weekend since Wonder Woman did it in 2017, which is a long time at this point. That's 8 years.
There's been a lot of movies that they've been making.
Yeah. So I thought all of that was really interesting. And in comparison to some other movies, Screen Thrill also took a look at this. It outperformed Man of Steel's opening weekend domestically. It underperformed the Batman's. So Matt Reeves' The Batman opened better, but it crushed Superman Returns opening weekend. One, yeah. However, interestingly enough, it's still underperforming the Batman vs. Superman opening weekend.
Yeah, that was all the same hype as like Captain America: Civil War, so I'm not surprised.
Right. So that is where Superman's tracking right now. So its worldwide total, like I said, sits at 217 million. The obvious question is it going to be $1 billion movie? I have some concern about its legs in the long term overseas, and I think it's going to do stronger domestically in the long run than globally. I don't know that Superman, because I just don't think it had the best, $122 million is great opening weekend. 217, I don't know. I don't know what their projections were, but I feel like it might, with Fantastic Four coming out in another 2 weeks, and the fact that there were stories about censorship coming out of the India market over the kissing scenes, which was, I don't know if you saw that. That was asinine, but unsurprising.
I don't think it's going to hit the $1 billion mark.
No?
No, as much as I wanted to, I don't think it will.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, but I'm not sure either. Because if it hits $1 billion, and we're gonna get into talking about what the upcoming slate for the DCU is in a little bit on this episode, but in terms of the money and what Superman's box office means for not just, obviously the unconfirmed projects, but even the ones that we know we're going to get that are in production, and how much they invest in it, I guess, moving forward. So I do think the overwhelmingly positive response to this film and seeing that financially play out in its opening weekend is a great step for the DC universe. However, like I said, I question whether it be, Superman's ties to the American image that around the world it may struggle as a character and as a franchise to, maintain a strong box office run, especially when you get other stuff coming out in the next few weeks. You have Jurassic World still out dominating the box office. I know it's not stuff we always get into on this podcast, but it does factor into box office numbers. And I just wonder if that is going to play a role in a film like this, that whether people like it or not is a very political film. Is that going to play a part in the long run?
I also think DC, as much as people are Marvel fatigue, I don't trust Marvel anymore, they can't make a good movie. Nobody's wanted to touch a DC movie for years. Until very recently with the Batman or the Suicide Squad, but the distrust of DC to make a good Superman movie, I mean, there hasn't really been a great Superman movie since Christopher Reeve, really
to this level,
decades. Yeah. So people And I don't think people really like Superman because of that. Like, they're not like, it's no Batman, it's no like Wonder Woman. I don't know. Like, Jason Momoa made Aquaman cool. I think that's like kind of the similar thing. It's like they needed to find a way to make Superman cool, and I don't think people going into this like kind of have the expectation.
I definitely think that's another factor. Absolutely. I think there's a lot at play here. I think Superman is... It's funny because Superman is meant to be kind of a simple character in his nature and like what he represents.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the way we perceive him, it's kind of complicated. And I think that has to do with the way people have decided to adapt him. And I think it has to do with the way people have decided to go online and represent him, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it really is just these different depictions and the way it's twisted the idea and tried to fit Superman into a certain story, certain narrative, certain agenda, fit that image when it's very much goes against what it actually is and what it was meant to be by his creators. Like, I think that's twisted people's feelings about it. And so you're right. That might reflect in the long term in the box office. It's great that we're all feeling positive about it, or the majority of people are feeling positive about it now. But you're right. You have Fantastic Four coming out. People kind of move on, and maybe the domestic audience, maybe our feeds personally are going to be filled with Superman content for weeks. But is that going to reflect all around the world? Or is that just our like American version of what is going on? So I don't know. Just an interesting question, I think, to ask, and we'll find out in the coming weeks.
Let's get into Superman, dude.
Let's do it. So, all right, we're dancing around it. We're gonna give our Superman ratings, and why don't you go first here? Why don't you tell us?
Yeah, so non-spoiler ratings and reviews right now, and then we'll get into spoilers a little bit after, and there'll be timestamps for you guys watching. So my rating for Superman, I give it 9 #super shits out of 10.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm just going with my rating now.
Yeah. I figure we go back and forth and then we'll talk.
I give it a strong 9 monkey soldiers out of 10. Monkey hate soldiers out of 10.
The hate soldiers. So we have the same review, same rating. That's good.
Yes, we do. We agree. Look at that. You know, I mean, more often than not, we agree.
I think we
though.
do.
I like,
and we're usually off by 1 or 2 points, you know, or like half a point.
That's why the very few times, like Get Out, when we're so far apart, it is shocking. So, but no, here we are with Superman, and we both feel the same way.
Dude, this
so
movie
where
was
do we
fucking
even
great.
begin? Yeah, I mean,
this movie was great.
This was great. It was a fun time.
It was great. Everybody, there was not a single like miscast person. There was not a single character I was like, what are they doing here? I had a great time. I thought everyone was fantastic.
You know what? James Gunn really delivered on his promise for, you know, a brighter future at DC. But even more so, like, we're just dropped into this feeling that, like, this movie is one of the most comic book films I've ever seen.
Oh, my God, it is,
Every
dude.
single scene, it's like one of the panels from a comic book page, you know, kind of put on the big screen. And there's 2 things. It's one, it's how the characters are portrayed almost like caricaturized versions, which we don't see in previous adaptations. Mm-hmm. And also the set pieces that are so comically larger than life.
Yeah, so colorful, man. The color is so vibrant.
You know, excuse me. I feel like you.
Dude, don't fucking die on mid-podcast, all right?
I know, right? Like, then you just gotta fucking...
I just sit here and talk to myself.
Like, I don't know. You're just going to look like a crazy person. Talking to
while your
the
dead
time.
body's sitting across from me.
Just fucking hanging there with my fucking tongue hanging out.
Weekend at Josh's.
New
That'd
segment idea? That would be a kind of crazy segment. Anyway, where were we even before I fucking...
colors and set pieces, very comic booky.
Okay. You know... It's really great though, like, because I feel like obviously The Dark Knight was a massive success with Christopher Nolan, and it introduced this more grounded, mature toned way of adapting comic book characters. And it worked. It was great because it was groundbreaking. We hadn't seen that before. But I feel like the response to that was over a decade of people trying to replicate that vibe. And you see that play out largely in like Zack Snyder's vision, which I'm not even saying there wasn't any positives in any of those, but that's what they were really going for. And you see that just play out even in some other Marvel films and things like that. Like that is something that was trying to be replicated. And I feel like that was more of a Christopher Nolan thing than an actual comic book thing. And I feel like people lose sight of that. And James Gunn brings it back to this, like, it's just so nice to see color again in movies and using it to make it bright and vibrant and exciting instead of these dark, muted tones. And it makes it more enjoyable as a moviegoer to see.
And the thing we don't get in any of those movies, and including the Nolan movies and Zack Snyder movies, is characters like Superman who have these bubbly, fun, but also vulnerable personalities really get to shine. We don't really see those kind of characters in those movies. And this movie, everybody's having a good time. Like, this movie is just so fun and lighthearted. It's got its dark moments, sure. It's got some fucked up stuff that happens, sure. But those moments feel heavier because the whole movie is so lighthearted. So when you see Superman go through such a hard struggle, at some points it feels real. It feels heavier than the whole movie being dark and depressing, you know? You got to have the light with the dark. You got to have that balance, and this movie does it really well.
I honestly think, because, you know, Superman is our central character here, of course. So, like, the biggest difference to me is, and the similar lines of what you're saying, in Man of Steel and in the Snyder films after that, Superman as a character is portrayed more as like a martyr and like a Jesus-like figure to the world.
Yeah, he's literally Jesus on the cross when he flies.
He's meant to be like a sacrificial lamb for humanity's sins. And that is like the depiction of Superman in those movies. And it's an interesting take. In theory, sure, it is. But in James Gunn's Superman, what we see is the light is shed on his humanity. It's his vulnerability that is equally as important as his physical strength. And it's that humanity that we see that drives him as a character. And I just think it makes for a much more compelling character and a compelling hero.
I love that. Like, I am so happy you said that, because that just reminded me of this thing I saw somewhere online where it was like a comic book writer. He was talking about the differences between Batman and Superman. And he goes, Batman is Batman. Like, his alter ego is Bruce Wayne. His mask is Bruce Wayne. Like, in reality, he is Batman. Superman is Clark Kent. And then he puts on the mask of Superman because Superman is more human than Batman. He's an alien, sure, but he's raised by loving parents in Kansas. Smallville. Batman is raised by like maids and butlers, and he's doesn't have any empathy as much. He doesn't have the empathy, and he scares people and he fears people. Superman is not like that. He gives people hope. He lets people see the brightness. David Cornsweet even said about the underwear on the outside. They said we needed a reason for him to wear the underwear on the outside because it looks stupid, but we need a reason for it because we want it. And he goes, perfect reason. Superman wears a stupid outfit because he doesn't want people to be scared of him. He knows he's this terrifying being on paper, but if you see this guy pull up in this silly little outfit with his underwear on the outside, you're not going to be as scared. And I think that's like the epitome of Superman, is that he just wants to help people and do good and be good.
We're unfortunately going to have to cross into spoiler territory already, because just the natural flow of the conversation right now, it would not make sense for me to come back to the point I want to make.
Okay, then, all right. Is there any, because I just wanted to say, is there any downsides? Because we're both at a 9 out of 10, so don't lose your point.
Well, that doesn't mean, just because we go into spoilers doesn't mean we won't get to downsides.
No, but I want to say mine before we get into spoilers, just so, because mine's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to say the one thing, my main problem with this movie, my only problem really, is that I did enjoy the world building of it, but I think there was a little too much. I think there was too much going on with all the extra characters and all the extra things. And there's one point where Superman casually just says like, "Oh, they're fighting an extra dimensional thing." It's like a one-off scene, so it's not a spoiler. And it's like that's a little too much for me for an intro movie to this universe to have like interdimensional beings that are just like they're so common that they just get like thrown away to the back burner of the conversation. Like it was a little
agree
too much
but
for me.
disagree. I don't agree with that scene, but I agree with the point, and we'll get to that, you know, when we get to the other parts of the film. But I just wanted to we'll get into spoilers because I want to make my point.
All right, so spoilers for the new Superman movie.
Because I wanted to talk about Jor-El.
Yeah.
And I want to ask about because I see by your face you probably didn't love the decision to change the message, but I do. Because you referenced Smallville, first of all. And second of all, I think it's important because I think in this universe, so, you know, because we're in spoilers, the point, first of all, Jor-El, played by Bradley Cooper, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
But I think that the decision to have them actually send Clark to Earth to rule over them and fucking build a fucking harem and shit like that is like it helps put emphasis on who he actually grew up to be and the life he it puts emphasis on the importance of the Kent family and his mom and dad, Martha and John. I just feel like because we're not getting that part of the story very much anyway, it kind of is fitting, especially when we start to get into another spoiler, Supergirl, who's in the movie, and her actual upbringing and how it's actually very different from Clark Kent's. Like, I just feel like it's a good decision because it goes in line with what she would have been dealing with when we get to that. Meanwhile, we see that he grew up in this loving community and in this loving household, and it led to him being that humanity that's on display. That's the purpose of the film. And so I think it's actually a really smart decision by James Gunn to make Jor-El and his parents secretly actually bad people.
I don't love the decision, but I think out of everything they could have changed, this is easily like, this is fine with me. Like I'm not like mad at it. And I think like if you just, the decision itself, I don't love it, but the way they handled it, knowing that they were doing that decision, I thought was great. I agree with everything you're saying. It makes the emphasis on Ma and Pa Kent even better, and that is his family. We talk about Superman being human. That's his family, and it does emphasize that more. And yeah, his cousin.
Think about the end shot.
I know that might be my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Like, but like the emotion with that, I think, is added because we know that these are his parents. He doesn't have that other, like, you know, love and support and kindness back on Krypton. Like, I think the happiness he feels is because like this is his home. Like, and I think because they're bad, like it helps us, the audience, feel even more attached to that.
Yeah, and he has that great conversation with Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
But it does make an interesting point about the setup of Supergirl, the movie. You know, she was raised in this, what is usually just a technologically advanced like utopia, but this iteration seems to be more of like a world-conquering civilization, which is going to be interesting to see how because she's like younger than him, but she's really older than him. Which is always so weird. But that makes me even more excited for the movie, honestly, because I never really thought she was too interesting of a character, but I think this is going to be.
And she's clearly like unstable. From
clearly struggling with stuff. She's like a fucking alcoholic.
She's an alcoholic. She lets fucking Crypto just abuse her. Like, like that was so funny.
Well, that's another thing that I didn't love about this movie. I thought, hot take, too much Crypto.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Too much of a dog?
I love dogs, but I don't like the recurring joke of, oh, the dog's jumping on me. This is every joke every 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. The dog doesn't follow directions is the joke every 5 minutes. I was like, guys, come on. All right, let's do something else.
I don't know. I don't think it was always meant to just be the joke. I think it was meant to be almost like, it was used almost as a plot. It was a joke that turns into a plot tool later on.
I just thought he was in it. I felt like Like I was like looking at watching Crypto more than I was watching Superman at half the time. I was like, come on, where's Superman?
Nah, that you're bugging out,
dude.
man. That's
Someone find the screen time for this movie.
Yeah, if the dog actually has more fucking screen time than David Cornsweet, then the dog should just become Superman moving
We just
forward.
pay him.
But I want to move back to what you were saying about it being bloated, because I do agree. I just didn't agree with that scene, because I think that scene is actually very important to the world building and
that was just like
their relationship. And I an example, I get it, but
it was it was a non-spoiler example I could give out.
But it is bloated. I don't think I wanted to see less characters. I wanted to see more time of interaction between the groups of the characters. Like, we get the Daily Planet gang. We don't see a lot of interaction between them in this movie.
I wanted more of them.
You know what I mean? Like, they really don't, like, like, for example, one of my, like, there's a moment between Perry, who is, you know, the chief editor, for anyone who doesn't know.
But don't call him chief.
But that's the point I want to bring up. We see a shot of him talking to Jimmy where he's like, don't call me chief, whatever. And then, like, another big moment later on where they're getting on Mr. Terrific's fucking T-ship, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's like, better write the article. And he's like, call me Perry. And it's like supposed to be this big moment, I guess. But it's like we never really see them interact, except he said that thing that one other time. And I don't know.
What I agree. I think the other characters kind of took away from that.
If you watch the original 1978 Superman, Perry's like a pretty prominent character. And obviously then throughout after that, like even a Man of Steel and like other iterations, like I just felt like we needed more of these characters interacting.
We didn't even see Jimmy interact with Superman. Like that's such a pivotal part of the comics and the original shows and movies. It's like Superman is Jimmy's guy, you know?
I could live past that considering Jimmy had a whole other thing going on that was relevant to the plot.
Yeah.
If we'd seen more interaction between him with the whole gang. Mm-hmm. You know, build that up and then introduce the Jimmy Superman friendship.
Cat Grant had 2 lines.
Yeah, like she was a whole big deal and she has like 2 lines.
She was there to look good.
Beck Bennett, your boy Beck Bennett from SNL, like
I know.
He's hilarious in the
He was funny as fuck.
1 minute of screen time that
I don't get a seat.
Yeah, that was so funny. I always say it just gets backed up immediately. Like I want to see more of that, you know?
I would love to.
And then moving past like the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
They're great. The only one that we see a lot of is Mr. Terrific, but we don't even see him interacting with, like, it's him and Lois Lane a lot of the time for whatever reason. So
yeah, but I did love that dynamic.
It was a great dynamic. It's just for a first movie, it was like a weird and kind of team up to spend a lot of time. Hawkgirl is great, but she's barely in it.
She has like 3 lines and
she gets one great moment, which is when she kills the Netanyahu looking fucking character, which I don't care what anyone says. This movie, which I'll get into towards the end of this part of the review, is definitely part about the Israeli-Palestine conflict. But
100%.
She drops the Baravian president. Like that was a cool moment, but that was really all she got. Like, you know, she doesn't get much. And even like Green Lantern, like he's hilarious. Nathan Fillion, one of the most underrated parts of this movie as Green Lantern. He was great. He was hilarious. I just think we didn't get enough, like, of all of that. So, like, I would have liked to see more of that, even of Luthor Corp. Like, the point is, all the different groups that we see here in Metropolis, in this reality, in this film, like, I would have just loved to see a little more of interactions between all of them. I guess.
I hate that name, Luthor Corp. And so many other things, he's Lex Corp, which I love so much better. Luthor Corp sucks.
Yeah.
It's a stupid name.
You know what, though? It kind of emphasizes how much of a loser this Lex Luthor really is. Like, Dew is the professional hater.
I'm going to be honest. Everyone loves... I love his performance, but everyone loves this Lex Luthor. I don't really like him.
That's crazy.
Dude,
your takes, man.
I'm currently watching... Actually, I just finished
I think he's the best one of the best performances in the whole movie.
Great performance. Nothing about the performance. The character himself. Like, I love the character iteration of him.
Dude, he's one of the he might be the biggest hater or like one of the biggest haters in movie history. Like, dude is a hater.
I know, and Lex is always a hater, but I just finished watching the original Justice League cartoon from like the early 2000s, like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and I just finished watching the whole thing yesterday or 2 days ago, and Lex is the world's biggest hater in that. He's, I think he's voiced by the guy.
Yeah, but does he have a pocket universe? Does he have a pocket universe with a bunch of monkeys 24/7 typing hate?
Listen,
online about Superman.
He doesn't do hashtag super
hater. Shit. That's hater level.
But
bro.
Listen, he's a hater, and then Darkseid shows up, and Lex goes to Superman and says, "I need you to kill Darkseid for me because I can't do it, and I'm not going to be able to rule over Earth if there is no Earth." This Lex Luthor from this movie would let the entire Earth get destroyed if it meant killing Superman.
Yeah,
and I think he's a dumbass for that. Like you're supposed to be the world's smartest man. He is a
dumbass. But Jack, that's the point. He is so intellectual, and yet he is blinded by his envy, which he literally admits in the film, and that does make him make stupid choices. That's the point. That's the whole point.
I don't like that point, because in most other iterations of Lex, he's not he doesn't make stupid choices. He's smart and strategic.
This makes him more of a dangerous villain, because he is willing to do anything because he is so fueled by his hatred of Superman.
I don't like that. You know what?
I like it. I think it's a great choice.
But I would like it if we saw really a good reason why he would hate Superman. Like, he just hates to hate. And I guess like that's his personality, but like to hate someone to the level of you want to destroy the entire world, like I need something, All
right. I mean, that's fair, but I still think, because like I said, we're seeing such caricaturized versions, and sometimes if you're reading a comic, you don't have, like in movies, there's generally always deeper reasons to things, and that's not a knock on comics, because there are long runs of comics that build reasons. But sometimes like this movie to me gave me the vibes of just like if you were to sit down and open up one comic, like he's Lex Luthor and he fucking hates Superman and he's going after him, and that's what it is.
Right.
And
we
like
joined
that's why
3 years in.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure we'll get more context as we go along, but for now, we're building that relationship. That's what I like. Like the one thing about the MCU that was always a downfall is how quickly they would kill compelling villains off, and not build up.
He lived.
Not build that up. Like, I'm so glad he lives, so that way we can see this relationship between Superman and Lex Luthor continue to develop one way or another. So I don't mind that we don't get all the answers right this moment. Like, I see your point. I get that last point of like wanting a bigger reason, because it does make it a little more interesting. However, for the purposes of this film alone, I do think it's really unique and fun that he just is so fueled by hatred, and we don't yet really know why. We just know he's crazy and unhinged and powerful and rich and smart and willing to do whatever it takes to defeat him. I love that.
Dude, did you expect him to just blow that guy's fucking head off?
Dude, that was probably like the biggest reaction, I think, that like of a surprise in any scene.
Holy shit, dude.
Because that was crazy. Just
he was surprised.
Because you know what I love when movies subvert your expectations too? Because usually when you see a Russian roulette scene in a film or show, it keeps going down the barrel. You're like testing their kind of patience and their whatever.
Time.
Yeah, but this time it was just like second try, bang, Molly's
Even
gone.
He says, he's like, oh shit.
He's like, fuck, I didn't expect it to go so soon. The Bravian president, ugly as fucking shit.
Oh, he's so ugly.
Just like laughing over there. Also, speaking of like, what the fuck was the thing that like was driving them through the pocket universe?
Oh, that's Mr. Handsome.
Dude, yeah. Ironic name, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really know his lore, but I just know his name is Mr. Handsome.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, that's something the Bravian president would have named himself, actually.
Like,
Bravian president would be like, hey, Mr. Handsome.
Like, Lex Luthor just has, like, this weird fucking creature from the pocket dimension. Like, does he live there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how did he, like, that? But that's what I love. Like, we don't even need to know. Like, that's just, like, you talked about that one scene between Superman and Lois Lane. And this will be a good segue into then talking about their relationship in this film. But that background where we're seeing him fight the Ultra, like, the dimensional beings and like whatever, like it's supposed to show us like how common these things are in this world, and like this is life. And I think that it's important to set that kind of a tone so we know what we're dealing with in the DCU. And I think that that's why I didn't mind it. And it's a great segue because it's in a scene. I want to talk a bit about Superman and Lois Lane's relationship, and it's in a scene that is really so imperative to showing us like what kind of relationship these two characters have and the difference between her relationship with Clark Kent and her relationship with Superman, which I think is an important distinction. So I want to get your thoughts on Lois Lane in this movie.
I thought she was great. I loved her. I thought Rachel Brosnahan was great. I just love that she's not a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to be. Lois Lane, she has a great relationship with Clark. She's a little, I guess, like self-destructive in their relationship. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but she's definitely like doubting herself. And I think that is interesting because we do see her at work. She's super cocky. When she's with Superman, she's super cocky. But in her personal life, she doubts herself. She doubts her relationships. She even says, like, this is why I'm not good at relationships. Like, I knew this would happen. And it's like, it's an interesting dynamic that she has within herself, comparing herself with the relationship with Clark and Superman.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I find it fascinating because she is career over everything, you know?
Right.
And so I find it interesting that because of who she's dating, which is Superman, and his part in the world's politics, which is still something like, you know, we'll get to, like, it's interesting how that affects her viewpoint of the relationship and how she approaches it and how she's supposed to separate the decisions he makes that affects billions of people around their world and their personal life and what they have together. Like, and that scene really emphasizes that when, you know, she's like, before when they argue and they're doing the interview, which was hilarious. Like, this movie seamlessly infused humor with serious topics.
Super shit, dude.
Like when he's trying to fucking turn off the recorder.
Yeah.
Like, good stuff. I
love his hashtag super shit. He's like, you know that one bothers me, Lois.
Yeah. Like, he's like, well, you can't use that one. You know, like, you know, I will say on a quick aside, and he says an aside joke there and that too. Like, this movie is written well. I didn't love some of the pieces of dialogue at times, but overall, this is a very well written movie in the way that it immerses us into this new reality and kind of like builds these characters for us. But anyway, yeah. So I loved Rachel Brosnahan and her performance, though, and her take on the character. Really interesting stuff between her relationship. I'm excited to see more between them. Like, that's another thing. Like, I feel like halfway through the movie, because he's off doing his own thing when he goes and turns himself in. Like,
right.
Definitely would love to see more, but the moments between the two of them were some of the strongest beat drops in this film.
And her scene with Mr. Terrific, that might be one of the best comic book scenes. I mean,
that scene when he's fighting,
he's just so fucking cool, and that scene was awesome. He's definitely my favorite of all like the background characters, so I'm glad he got the most screen time, especially with Lois, because that was amazing.
Yeah, definitely was the biggest surprise of the film for me. Was not expecting him to be so funny and just,
I thought he'd be boring.
Yeah, enjoyable to watch. Really a great job. This was great. I'm trying to think of other things.
How did you feel about Ultraman?
Underutilized, I think, but you know, he was there.
I don't really like cloning.
It was an interesting twist.
I'm not the biggest fan of clones in things, and I knew Ultraman was Superman in the comics, and I thought, oh, maybe it won't be this time. You know, maybe they're changing it because, like,
right, whatever. You never know.
But once he got into the Fortress of Solitude, I was like, okay, they obviously have his DNA, so that means it's that means he's a clone. But I just don't like. I don't know. I think having this movie with all these villains already, but also having a literal character, a villain that has the strength of Superman and all the abilities of Superman, should have been a bigger deal than it was. I feel like he was taken care of way too quickly and should have been like the solo villain of a second movie or a third movie. You know what I mean?
He was outsmarted, and like they make it a point earlier on, like he's as strong, but he's not as smart. And
he threw him at a moving wall. It's like, is it really I don't know. He just saw something there and threw him at it. Like,
I don't know.
I wish he was like either used more or not used at all, honestly.
That's fair, but that goes along the point of like there just being so much going on and it being a little bloated, so many great characters, but not necessarily enough time devoted to all the relationships and all the growing things, and we're gonna see that. Like this is an introduction to this universe, and so we'll see it as we go on. But yeah, I want to talk about a couple of the cameos because I'm trying to save some of the political stuff for last. So I'm going to keep teasing it. I want to talk
so
about
people can leave before you say it.
I want to talk. Well, I think it's important for this movie, but I'm just trying to make sure we cover everything. So there were a couple of fun cameos. Obviously, we talked a bit about Supergirl, but also Peacemaker shows up in this.
Yeah.
Which
is like so jealous of my muscles.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I don't know.
You see Christopher Reeve's son?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, Christopher Reeve's son, and Christopher. It's his son, Will, who was also Dana's son. The Christopher's wife that passed away 2 years after him.
I don't know.
There's a great documentary that came out that I just watched right before Superman called Superman, like Super/Man.
Oh, I saw that on I didn't watch it.
And it made me cry a couple times. It's so sad. Just like talking about Christopher Reeve and his life as Superman. It's like coincides like side by side his life, as a star and growing up, and then as Superman, and then also like after the crash or not the crash, the accident with the horse and dealing with all of that. And Dana was his second wife because he was with someone else, had 2 kids with her, and then got married to this other woman, had Will, who was the cameo in the movie. He's the reporter. And she passed away 2 years after him. She had cancer. Tragic shit, honestly. Damn. Heartbreaking. So that's why, like, when I saw him in the movie, I bring that up because when I saw him in the movie, like, it really touched me, especially just having seen the documentary because, like, they didn't have to do that. But obviously. Nice. But, like, it was such a meaningful touch and an ode to Christopher Reeve, who is the Superman. Like, obviously, all the props to David Cornsweet. We haven't really talked a lot about David Cornsweet and how great he was in this dual role between Clark. I wanted to see more Clark Kent. We didn't get a whole ton of him.
Me too.
In this movie, it's kind of like the Batman, where we didn't get a lot of Bruce Wayne, more just Robert Pattinson's Batman. But yeah, as great as I love David Cornsweet, Christopher Reeve is like the OG Superman. Rewatching his movie, like, he's great in that movie. It's not even just saying that. Like, he's a legend for a reason. And so for them to include his son, I thought was a really, really awesome touch.
Yeah, James Gunn is really good at paying tribute, I think, and honoring source material, but also, like, those who made it possible. And obviously without Christopher Reeve, we would not have this movie. So James Gunn is the master at that.
And also the last thing I want to say before my last point is the music in this. The score was really cool. John Murphy and David Fleming, I think is his name, off the top of my dome. But I really liked that. Speaking of Christopher Reeve, the score paid an ode to the original John Williams score while kind of infusing its own modern take. And I thought that, like, I think some people were judgmental of that when the first trailer came out, that they didn't come up with their own entirely original score like Hans Zimmer did with Man of Steel. But I don't know. I thought it fit. I thought it kind of helped connect that theme of hope that the original Richard Donner Superman was all about back into this movie, because that's what this movie really is all about. Is hope.
It's so iconic too.
Yeah, like everyone knows it.
Everyone knows, and everyone wants to hear it. You don't got to change what's already. I mean, you don't have to entirely change what's already, already awesome, already great.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting decision as well, and it worked for me. And the last thing I've been saying,
get into it.
It's
here,
important. It's important. Like, that's what we're here to talk about.
People want to go to the movies to get away from all this stuff, bro. I don't know if they want to.
But that's what the movies are also about. Like, that the movie's about that. Like, you go watch Oppenheimer. You're saying people are going to the movies to get away from it, and then
people don't watch
like,
fucking Oppenheimer to not talk about politics. They watch Superman so they can watch Superman and be like, the real world sucks. I want to be in a comic book.
Right. But James Gunn wrote and made a movie that is very much about and reflecting real world issues. Like the Baravian Jarunpar conflict that we see in this world is clearly a representation of the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Like, this film does take that hard stance. I'm just not one who is going to ignore like artistic intention behind, like, you know what I mean, like what we're actually watching and what it means. And I thought that was interesting, because I'm just like, the point is that you don't see a mainstream film come out often that takes such a hardline stance. And I think it makes such a good point about like what's going on, and like the idea of a nation, you know, kind of hostily taking over a group of people at their own will. And I like that this movie infuses, like, it takes the mantle of Superman, and this idea that, like, because a lot of people out there, I think, have this idea that Superman is an American icon, and that is not true. He is not. He is a humanity icon. He is an icon. What is it? It's like truth, justice, and
it's originally the American way.
Yeah, I know, but they changed it.
I don't know what it is now. But I mean, the whole purpose of like the whole beginning of the movie is him stopping international war and conflict, and like he's not just America. He's the world, you're right.
Like, that's the thing. He represents himself, and he tries to make that a point. Like, we're talking about Superman and Lois Lane, and we see this interview scene. Like, she brings up a lot of good points about like how, you know, this looks to the world and blah blah blah. And honestly, like, I want to see the DCU look more into that side of stuff as well, because I think it's interesting, and I think it's, you know, art has this reflection of real world events, and I want to see how, you know, you utilize these iconic characters with our modern politics. I mean, even superheroes originally in comics, like, a lot of them are inspired by a lot of the politics of their times. Superheroes are inherently political, I think.
And even the American way. I mean, Superman does represent the American way, but not the reality of America. He represents the idea of America and the values that America is supposed to uphold. America is supposed to be all about freedom and equality and peace and justice. And obviously, I mean, realistically, there probably is no country that actually upholds all those values. And this American way is just what America stands on, but maybe doesn't. But
that's why I think it's so interesting that we get this kind of a story in a Superman film, where Superman is the kind of character that kind of breaks nation borders, you know, because that, to him, those are just lines on a paper.
He's an alien, dude.
He's an alien, man. Like, he doesn't care about that. He's on a planet, and he wants to save people and do what he believes is the right thing. And he represents what a lot of us believe is the right thing, which is that people should have the right to govern themselves and to choose for themselves, and that nations don't have that kind of authority over one another. And especially that, like, the reality that world leaders do make deals, you know, like the one the Peruvian guy was trying to make with Lex Luthor. Like, this is a very real kind of reflection of things that happen to real people in our world. And I think, you know, here's a scene I want to highlight on this topic. When Superman never comes to Jarunpar to save the people, and, you know, the kid's there, and he's got the pole with the Superman flag, and he's got his eyes closed, and he goes, Superman. Yeah, exactly. It's one of the most inspiring scenes in the film, and I think everyone's saying, come on, Superman, you got to get there, and he's obviously busy in Metropolis. He's fighting the engineer. He's very busy, like, you know, with the fucking nano fucking shit. Like, there's shit going on right there. I think that says a lot about the real circumstances that people face when they're in similar situations with their governments and their countries, where there is no Superman coming to save them. You know, they have to rely on the strength of their own hope. And in this movie, that's kind of, obviously, like Green Lantern, and everyone comes and saves them.
There's no Superman, but there is a Green Lantern and a Hawk Girl,
there's
and Mr. Terrific, so.
But, like, that is like I think the point that James Gunn was trying to get across there, and I think that shouldn't be that shouldn't go unseen.
All right.
And I think that's really important. And I think, like I know people like to say it's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, just I don't know. All I gotta say is like free Palestine. Like I don't care.
Damn.
Like if that's
Damn.
fucking what's the word I'm looking for? I'm blanking.
I don't know
on
what you're
words.
looking for.
Where something's like whatever.
What?
Blanking on words.
You're not even helping describe.
I'm trying to think of like something is like you don't want to say it because like you think
Oh,
people
it's like
are,
controversial.
Yeah, I was blanking on the fucking word.
But even then,
God
like,
damn it. But that's
Free
what I'm saying,
Palestine,
like,
brother. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's like the point I was trying to make. I was losing the word because this is like it's serious. Like we don't know. We like to have fun on this show, but like it's serious shit. Like I don't know. And this movie obviously makes a point of it, and it's an ongoing issue. And like you see like literal bombs going off on our feeds between Iran and Israel, and we're supposed to sit here and pretend like that's not reflecting in our art and not something that's actually going on. Like I'm all for going to the movies to escape, but this movie's very much about that. I think it takes a stance, a very hardline stance about it, because Superman doesn't tolerate that fucking bullshit. And I think, like, first of all, Baravia is literally Israel. There he's like, we had an alliance with the United States. Like, yeah, Israel and the United States have this alliance, blah, 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 all this time. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I think James Gunn is trying to make a point. You don't see that very often in these kinds of films, and fucking free Palestine. So if that's controversial, thank you for giving me the word because I was fucking blanking. And it was honestly very frustrating for a minute there.
Yeah, for me, I don't know what the fuck you're talking
It was frustrating for me too because I'm sitting there like, oh God, what the fuck?
You actually have dementia.
Dude, I fucking might. Holy shit.
You might.
Holy fuck. Well, anyway, Superman doesn't because he's fucking perfect.
That's really all I need to say about Superman, I think. I don't really have much else.
Yeah, no, I do think that's about it.
So what's next?
Well,
oh, it's me.
I think we are gonna get into the future of the DCU. So we talked a bit about how this movie is setting up, this world and its inhabitants and their interactions. And I think now we got to see, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah, let's run through the slate of the future DCU movies and just quickly like a few comments on each one.
Well, before we run through a list, I want to say this about it. Their plan, they've told us, is to release 2 live-action films, multiple TV shows, and 1 animated show a year. That was apparently how they want to go about it. So I don't know if you heard about that. What the idea is that they would eventually reintroduce all these Justice League characters. So that's how they want to go about it, the amount per year, with what you're now going to tell us is what's announced.
Yeah, and so we already got Creature Commandos. That was the start of Chapter 1, which is called Gods and Monsters of the new DCU. And Peacemaker's like a half star, and then we got Superman. So the first official movie was Superman, and the next thing we're getting after Superman is Peacemaker Season 2. It's coming out in August. I'm very excited for that. Season 1 was great.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there was some concerns of if we were going to get another season of Peacemaker there for a bit because of the whole DCEU to DCU
right.
and obviously the writer strike, so other outside factors. But I'm very excited. Obviously, John Cena, James Gunn, back in the director, showrunner chair. Like, he's got a lot of success off Superman. We even see Peacemaker show up in a cameo and that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously going to be tied to Superman. I'm very excited. I know James Gunn teased that someone was going to show up at the end. My guess is it's going to be Superman.
Yeah, it'll be sick. We already know Green Lantern, Hawkgirl are in.
Right. So
Peacemaker Season 2.
I think Superman's going to show up, but that's going to be a very fun show.
The next thing coming out in the DCU is its second movie. It's going to be Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, coming out June 26th.
It's not Woman of Tomorrow anymore.
It's not?
No, it's just Supergirl now.
Damn, because they changed Superman Legacy to just Superman. Yeah. Well, it's coming out June 26, 2026. It's based on Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow comic book run. And James Gunn says it's going to be a science action adventure that it's Supergirl that viewers are not used to seeing. So that's pretty cool.
Uh,
Something new.
yeah, and it's directed by Craig Gillespie, who did things like I, Tonya. He did that dumb money movie, which was about the GameStop
Oh, right, right.
shit, if you remember that. He did Cruella. He did that show on Hulu, Pam and Tommy, with Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
So that's who's behind when he talks to his
Sebastian
fucking
Stan talks to his dick.
and the dick is voiced by Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, I forgot.
So that's who's doing Supergirl.
Awesome.
So that should be really interesting. Like, to me, he's kind of like a whatever director. I don't think he has the most distinct style, but I'm intrigued to see him in like an IP form. That should be interesting. And Millie Alcock will be in the star role as
And
Supergirl.
she's great. She was great in House of the Dragon. Supergirl's not really an interesting character to me, but now that we have this whole Krypton is evil kind of thing from the Superman movie, that's pretty cool.
I think based on her little cameo, she already got a little more interesting to me. So
I think so. I think you're right.
I'm intrigued by that, to say the least.
Next up, we have Clayface, which is coming out September 11th, 2026. This is described as kind of a body horror movie. I think the direction and writers have been changing around. I don't know what's going on with that. You have updates on that?
Yeah, so it is written. The script is written by Mike Flanagan.
Okay, that's still the same.
Our King. I think there were some edits done by another writer, but it is Mike Flanagan's script. It's directed. He's not directing it because he's busy with his Carrie series at Amazon and doing a new Exorcist movie. So it's being directed by James Watkins, who did the Speak No Evil remake that came out last year. I'm not sure of what else he's done, but I know he did that. So I'm intrigued by this because I love Mike Flanagan, and I'd love to see like a Clayface like horror, like body horror, especially coming off The Substance, which was a hugely popular body horror film. Like, I think that this could be really fun.
And we already saw Clayface in Creature Commandos, and they did say everything you see animated will translate to live action and back and forth. So that's how he's going to look. And it was pretty cool.
And it's starring Tom Rhys-Harries. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but that's who's apparently starring the role.
Yeah, he recently just got announced.
Yeah, he did.
I think filming either just started or it's starting soon. I knew it was supposed to start this summer, so it might have started already. But that's cool. Next, we have a TV series. We have Lanterns coming out some point in 2026. It's not really announced yet. This is going to be kind of like a murder mystery, true detective style take on the heroes. It's going to be Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, mentoring Jon Stewart, younger Green Lantern, and Nathan Fillion is said to come back as Guy Gardner, and it's going to be rated R. It's going to be a lot of F-bombs, a lot of blood, apparently. It's going to be really cool. And they said it's going to tell a big, big story. It's going to start off small, start off very terrestrial on Earth, and then it's going to get universal.
I remember when they were trying to find who was going to star, and it was like, oh, maybe Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then I don't remember who else, and then it was Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, who some people are saying could maybe be the next James Bond, so that's an interesting...
you.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that?
Not just me, but...
Oh, yeah.
What do you think
you're
I
some
hear
people.
about? I am some people. I'm people. But no, this one is really interesting as well. You're right. I did hear that it was inspired by, they said, True Detective, which I've seen and is a great show, and Slow Horses, which I've never seen, but a very, very quick thing that has nothing to do with Superman. This fucking show, Slow Horses, stars Gary Oldman and has like 7 seasons already coming planned. They have like, they're thinking way ahead. It's on Apple TV, and like it just keeps pumping them out, and then they keep getting nominated for shit every year. What the fuck? Like, no, I've never heard
Slow Horses, fast as fuck, dude.
Yeah, these aren't Slow Horses. Like, who the fuck? I don't know a single person who ever watched the show, and yet it's like super successful. I probably will watch it someday.
I think what I want you to do for these movies and shows that we're announcing, when we get to your most anticipated movie, tell me, and when we get to your most anticipated show, tell me.
Oh,
unless we passed it already, we only did Clayface and Supergirl and Peacemaker.
Clayface is probably my most anticipated.
Your most anticipated movie?
Yeah.
Over any Batman stuff? Over any whatever the fuck we have else?
We haven't named everything yet, so do you want me to explain it, or?
We'll explain why Clayface is your most anticipated.
Oh, well, because I love horror and I love Mike Flanagan, and I'm really excited to see like a Clayface body horror, because like I think that they'll go like an old Hollywood style kind of old school look, and I think it's just going to be almost maybe noir-esque and really cool and exciting.
It's gonna be sweet.
And knowing Flanagan, it'll probably pack a punch of emotion as well. Like I'm very excited to see what this movie kind of looks like.
Well, we haven't gotten to my most anticipated movie, but Lanterns is definitely my most anticipated show. I love Green Lantern. I'm a little disappointed that Hal Jordan isn't going to be the main Green Lantern of this universe. I love Jon Stewart, but Hal Jordan's my fucking goat. So I'm really excited, though.
Lanterns is also my most anticipated show.
Really? Okay,
like,
so you're done already.
Looking at the list of shows.
Yeah.
Peacemaker season 2 is close, though. I am really excited for that. But Lanterns is that one for me too.
Okay. The next one, which we have like almost no information about, is the Batman 2. That's supposed to come out October 1st, 2027.
Well, to not confuse people, that's not part of the DCU.
Well, it's DC Elseworlds.
Yeah,
so
but it's
kind of like
DCU.
No, but it is now. Like it's kind of like
not
how
according to James Gunn.
Well, no, he it's kind of like how technically like Amazing Spider-Man is now like MCU related because it's like a different universe.
But if you were to if you're gonna sit and list MCU films, you wouldn't say the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right. So James Gunn said it's not mainline DCU; it's called DC Elseworlds. So like I'm still gonna count that just because it's like an alternate universe.
I don't, because it's not part
Really?
of the DCU. If I sit here and say DCU films, I'm not gonna say the Batman.
Yeah, but it's DC Elseworlds, so it's like it's still like going to be
no, because it's Elseworlds. It's separate. It's a separate story. It has nothing to do with this universe.
It's an alternate universe. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's not connected unless they ever bridge a connection. It's not connected.
All right. They won't, so it's fine. The next thing, then we have another movie. Speaking of Batman, is The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
No release date announced yet or anything. This movie's following Batman and Robin. And Robin is going to be Damian Wayne. So it's Batman's son, Damian Wayne, the little fucking psychopath assassin Robin. He's the fourth Robin. And he's raised by Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows. He's an assassin. Like, he's like fucking 11 years old. It's crazy shit, bro.
And we have seen this Batman technically already.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you're right.
At the end of Creature Commandos,
he has a little
like
in the shadows.
He's just like hiding there, but that's technically him. So this is directed by Andy Muschietti, or at least that's the plan currently. Who did the It movies and did The Flash,
which James Gunn said was a masterpiece, and then we all saw it.
Yeah,
James,
but I also think James Gunn was just trying to get people to go see it. Like,
I hope so, because
to be fully honest,
I
think James Gunn was just trying to get just trying to hype it shit up to get people to go see it. I thought you were curious about me saying Clayface because of this one. I'm not that excited for this. In fact, I think it's like I do think it's weird for them to have two Batmans going at the same time between Robert Pattinson and whoever they do for this. I do. I think that's weird. I think it's going to confuse people, but it is what it is, you know?
I agree.
So I'm not that excited for it.
This is my most anticipated. This is the thing.
Just because it's Batman, though? Like,
also because I love Robin.
But I just don't love who... I need a better... I need more inspiration from the creative team behind it, personally.
I really have a strong dislike about what we know so far. I hate how it's Damian Wayne Robin. Maybe he's the third most interesting Robin, but I think Dick Grayson is the best Robin. He's the first one. Then I love Jason Todd. He's Robin, then becomes Red Hood. He fucking dies and gets brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul. That's awesome. Becomes a villain or an anti-hero. Tim Drake is kind of boring. He's the third Robin. And then we get the fourth Robin. And I think the problem with the DCU so far, again, is trying to... the world building. Why are we starting on the fourth Robin? What the fuck? So Nightwing already exists, Red Hood already exists, and Red Robin? All three Robins are already adults now? Why the fuck are we starting on the fourth Robin? It makes no sense.
I think it's just because they're trying to be like, we are dropping into the universe instead of it being a true origin. And I like that to a degree, but I also think it strays too far from an origin at times.
I think we're missing out on so much great content.
Well, because, for example, he's like, well, we don't need to see the Jor-El, and we don't need to see Superman's like origin again. We don't need to see Batman's origin again. I get that. We don't. We've seen so many iterations again. But you're right. I think sometimes they're skipping too much, and we are losing out on some stuff that we haven't seen as many live action iterations of.
Right. We've only why are we skipping out on Nightwing's origin or Red Hood, who we've never gotten in a live action movie ever? And the last time we got Nightwing in a live action movie was like in 1997 with the fucking nipple suits. Like, what the hell? So I don't know. That bothers me. I get the other origin stuff that we don't need, but that one bothers me a little bit.
Fair enough.
Next, we have the Teen Titans movie. Again, nothing announced about it besides that it's in the works. I'm sure, I don't know if you have some writers or anything like that. I do see here that...
I don't have anyone written down.
I do see here that it's being written by the same person who's writing Supergirl.
Okay.
Ana Noguera. I don't know if... I guess that's the same person, because it's... Yeah. But I love the Teen Titans. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I'm a casual fan.
Depends who's on the team, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I need me some Beast Boy. I need me some Robin. Yeah. Starfire would be cool. Raven.
You know what? With all the untitled ones that you announced, the rule of thumb James Gunn has said is that a film is not going to be greenlit to continue until the script is approved. So until we get a script on this and all the other ones that are like untitled and not in production, then there's not going to be much. It's just a waiting game.
Like the next,
which I don't mind.
The next one I have, again, no release date, is Wonder Woman. And James Gunn, the only thing we really have about it is that he said we're currently writing it.
Yeah.
That's all the information we have. I really want Adria Arjona to get cast.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Do you think she'd be good?
Her or Melissa Barrera, I think, would be really cool.
Oh, she would be good.
Yeah.
All right, I'd be down for that. Next up, we have Swamp Thing. We've gotten a little more information about this.
That's one of my most anticipated as well, probably right after Clayface.
Yeah, James Gunn is very confident about this. He's really said about it, though, is that it's going to kind of like be very separate from the rest of the stuff. It's not Elseworlds, but it's not going to really have any strong connections to the rest of the DCU.
I heard it was described as like a gothic horror that just like explores his origin. Yeah. And it's being directed by James Mangold, who did A Complete Unknown and a few other films. Logan. He did Logan. He did Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
So James Mangold, he did the Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. Like he's been around. He did Walk the Line. Yeah, man, he's been around. He it should be interesting. It's not like my favorite director in the world. There are definitely a few guys I would have rather seen take on this film, but James Gunn, I read, said that this is a passion project of Mangold's, so he'll give it all he's got, I'm sure.
Well, speaking of passion projects, we have James Gunn's passion project. The next movie up on the slate is The Authority. I'm not excited for this in the least. He says it's about a team of superheroes or really unknown heroes that are kind of taking matters into their own hands to do what they believe is right. But this movie's been put on the back burner. It was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to come out after Superman, before Supergirl. But we have nothing about it, so it's definitely DC's kind of put it on the back burner for sure.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so
I don't have.
I have nothing to say.
But that's how I felt about Creature Commandos too, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, but so we'll see when it comes out. I'm sure it has potential, but it's at that phase right now, and it has to do with a group of characters I don't really know anything about, so I don't really care.
The last movie on my list is the Dynamic Duo movie. Again, no release date. It's an upcoming animated movie about Dick Grayson, who is Nightwing, the first Robin, and Jason Todd, who is the second Robin, and I guess he's Red Hood in this. It's their origin stories and them together. So I know we just complained about not getting origin stories for those two characters, or at least I did. I don't love that we're getting them animated first. I'd rather just see it in the official live action, but I guess we're getting it, so we're getting it. It's been described as a way for families to kind of get into the world of Gotham because it's going to be more lighthearted. It's going to be about the two Robins and their origins. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good time.
There was a couple that you missed.
Oh, no, well, I'm done with movies. You got some more movies?
Oh, movies.
I got a couple TV shows left.
No, actually, that's it for movies. Never mind. Okay. Oh, no. Well, you missed one that you probably think is canceled, but is not.
What?
Sergeant Rock.
Oh, that's a movie?
Yes.
I forgot that was even going to exist.
It's not canceled. They're just working on it, on the script some more. So this is a movie that's kind of gone through the ringer of development. It's supposed to be, the film is supposed to be about Sergeant Rock, the character, teaming up with a female French resistance fighter to locate the Spear of Destiny before the Nazis do, described as a World War II epic of heroism. It's planned to be directed by Luca Guadagnino, who did Challengers and Call Me By Your Name and films like that. Originally, Daniel Craig was signed on to play the titular role. He dropped out because he was disappointed with the film Queer's box office and critical run, because he did that with Luca, didn't really do well, so he backed out of Sergeant Rock. Then Colin Farrell joined. Then the movie kind of entered development hell, so Colin Farrell passed it on, and now the script is undergoing some changes, but apparently Luca is still attached to the project, and James Gunn said the project is still gonna happen when they can lock it down. So
this gives me Blade vibes from Marvel.
Yeah,
like it's never gonna be made. We have one name attached to it. Like,
dude, real quick, did you see that Blade, Marvel sold the costumes that they were going to use for Blade to the Sinners production?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's fucking nuts. If I'm Mahershala Ali, I'm just calling them up and saying I'm not doing this anymore.
Dude, he was on a red carpet, and someone said, "When's Blade coming out?" And he goes, "You tell me." He goes, "Call Marvel and ask them to fucking make the movie." He's ready.
Fucking crazy. Anyway, that just reminded me of that. I thought that was nice.
All right, Sergeant Rock. All right.
So Sergeant Rock, yeah.
I got a couple more. I got Booster Gold TV series. It's about a hero from the future who's kind of a fucking loser. He's not a hero in the future. He uses future technology to come back and be a hero and actually like matter using his future tech. So he doesn't have any powers or anything like that. But we all we have is really that it's gonna be about Booster Gold. We don't really have much about that. It was just in the slate. Next, something I'm actually really excited about is My Adventures with Green Lantern. It's going to be an animated series in the same exact style of My Adventures with Superman, which is a new-ish Superman show starring Jack Quaid as Superman. But it's not about any of the lanterns we know. It's going to be about Jessica Cruz, which is one of the newer Green Lanterns from Earth, and her life, which is going to be really exciting. Do you have a favorite Green Lantern?
No.
You're not really a DC guy, I know, right?
No. You're the comic guy here. This is how you feel sometimes. I get it. I'm in the cuck chair.
Yeah, you are. All right. Next, after the My Adventures with Green Lantern animated series, we have the Starfire animated series. Again, no date to be announced. It's about Starfire and her origins. Of course, she's one of the Teen Titans. Let me just read this real quick. The show will follow her adventures after she finds a spaceship on her home planet of Tamaran that she uses to explore the stars. In the show, we'll also see space biker Crush, plant-loving Fern, and the magical princess Amethyst of Gemworld. There are also promises of storylines involving saving space dolphins, serving Technicolor nebulas, and plenty of galactic exploration. So that sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like it's gonna be like Adventure Time or some shit.
It just sounds like a mouthful. Yeah, it does
Space
sound
Princess
like a lot.
Amethyst, Space Biker, or like whatever. Next, we have the DC Superpowers animated series. So all this stuff is really animated.
Are you sure this is connected to the DCU?
Well, it says DC Studios on it. It's animated, and James Gunn said everything from the future that's animated will be translated over. I actually don't know for sure if it's fully connected, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. It's about a show of like new students at a superhero school. It's animated. It's a kid's show, I'm sure. And then lastly, of the confirmed series, we have a Blue Beetle spin-off animated series. So Blue Beetle is interesting because it came out before the whole, or like kind of during the whole switch to the James Gunn DCU. And James Gunn did say that Xolo Maridueña, is that his name? The guy, Xolo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be continuing to play Blue Beetle in the current DCU. So this animated series that was announced kind of when that movie came out, I'm assuming is still happening according to gamesradar.com, which is where I'm getting this information. But we don't really know much about it. I hope George Lopez comes back.
Dude, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
And lastly, I just want to talk about these two series that are probably not happening. The first is Paradise Lost. This is a series that James Gunn was very excited about Themyscira. He said it was going to be like kind of Game of Thrones-esque show about the life on Themyscira, where Wonder Woman is from, all the women, the Amazonians. The show was supposed to come out kind of soon, and now there's no actual release date and nothing about it. But James Gunn told Entertainment Weekly that it's slow, but it's moving. So it's still in development, but I can't imagine it's going to happen for a while. And lastly, something I was actually really excited about, and I'm sure you would have been too, is the Waller TV show.
I didn't hear that wasn't happening.
So this was originally supposed to come out before Peacemaker Season 2, and we still haven't heard anything about it. And I feel like it's kind of getting swept under the rug. James Gunn even said that this show is the greatest show you'll ever see. Like he didn't say it about Peacemaker, he says it about Waller. But we just haven't heard anything about it. I don't know if it's the whole DCU switch or like Viola Davis might have some issues or something, but it was supposed to be the thing coming out actually probably a few months ago. It's supposed to come out before Season 2 of Peacemaker, which comes out next month. Which is kind of disappointing. I was excited for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully it still comes out in the long run and they find a place to fit the story in.
I hope so, because she's related to the girl from Peacemaker. So I don't know what you do with that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe they do something with it in Season 2.
Yeah. So that's all the future stuff coming out for the DCU. I'm very excited. That's all I have, unless you have more.
No, I think you covered it all.
I'm excited. A lot of animated stuff, a lot of shows, a lot of movies. I think it's got a promising future.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And Superman was great. And very quickly, we had it written down. Did you rank your top 5 favorite DC films?
I did. I would love to go through that with you.
I want to go through these quick because I want to have some time to be able to review these TV shows as well.
Uh-huh.
But we got some top 5. We ranked our favorite DC films and see where the new Superman movie maybe fits in with them. And I guess there's one way to decide this.
I guess so.
Our hero, Martin Van Buren.
Our guy, our boy. Wait, you gotta call it.
Oh, fuck. All right, well, I haven't looked at it yet.
You call it.
Heads. Let's go! I finally won one.
That's a first.
That's actually the first time. Holy shit. Okay.
I remember speaking clips.
Bro.
There, you got to start. Every time you do a ranking, you go, here's my ranking of the top 5 DC movies with honorable mentions. That's how you got to talk. So I can clip it.
I don't give a fuck.
I have to clip it, dude. It's more work for me. I have to go back 10 minutes for you to say it, and I have to edit it in. Just fucking say it.
Bro, I'm just here talking.
Just talking clips, buddy.
I don't talk in clips. I talk in Josh.
Yeah, Josh is a fucking idiot.
All right. So I have no, Jack's just lazy. So I have top 5 DC films because all that matters are clips and not the actual episode, apparently.
Dude, you're gonna fucking ruin my clip now. I can't put that in.
Honorable mentions.
Here's Josh's top 5 DC movies.
Honorable mentions.
Here's Josh's
honorable
top 5
mentions.
Fine. You know what? Yours isn't getting clipped then. I'm clipping mine.
No, but you can't clip one without the other.
I can't clip yours. I have to go back fucking 5 minutes and edit it in. Just fucking say the 3 words.
Yeah,
it's not
just
that hard.
Add it in. I said the words.
No, but
I said the top 5
angry.
DC films.
You were angry.
Oh. All right. Honorable mentions. Zack Snyder's Justice League. The 4-hour version, not the fucking Joss Sweden shit. The Suicide Squad 2021, the James Gunn one. Wonder Woman, the Lego Batman movie, Batman Returns, and the first Joker film. Those are my honorable mentions. In 5th place is the 1978 Richard Donner Superman, iconic film. In 4th place is The Dark Knight Rises. In 3rd place is this Superman film, the 2025 one. In 2nd place is The Dark Knight. And because this was a little tough for me to decide, in first place is The Batman. I've been back and forth. They're very close. There are times where I say Dark Knight. There are times where I say The Batman. But today I'm going to say The Batman. What an incredible investigative murder mystery film that shows Batman as a detective, which we get. It's so gritty and so awesome. I love that.
That's a great list. That was a really good list.
Thank you.
I have no notes. I thought it was great.
I appreciate that.
Well, you'll hear mine and then we'll talk for a minute. Here's my top 5 DC movies after watching Superman. So starting off with honorable mentions, I have the Lego Batman movie. I have Watchmen, which I think is severely underrated. Watchmen is fantastic. Another Zack Snyder movie. And probably my most controversial take of the week. Honorable mention, I have The Dark Knight.
Bro, wait. Go back. What were your other honorable mentions that you have with The Dark Knight?
The Lego Batman movie, Watchmen, The Dark Knight.
Okay, what the fuck do you have? What are the 5 DC films above The Dark Knight?
At number 5, the animated film, The Flashpoint Paradox. One of my favorite comic stories of all time. Put it onto the movies. I love it. Number 4, Batman 1989. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. Fantastic. Number 3, this Superman movie, Superman 2025. Number 2, The Suicide Squad. And number 1, The Batman.
Dude,
I'll tell you right now, The Dark Knight is a good movie. It's insanely overrated. Also, it's a terrible Batman movie. It is. If I want to watch
not the best Batman movie,
it's such a bad representation.
Better than Batman 1989.
It's such a but it's such a bad representation of the character.
I don't think so.
The first movie, he kills Ra's al Ghul. He just lets him explode in a train. That's not Batman. Also, he can't even fucking move in that suit. He's fighting people who goes, I don't wear hockey pads.
Dude, have you seen Michael Keaton's suit?
Yeah, but
he can't fucking move
that
in
was in the 80s.
So what?
And also, he wears the same suit in The Flash, and he can move in it. It looks good. Like this, it came out 2012.
Yeah, because that came out in like 2020 fucking 3.
Yeah, this movie looks like shit.
He doesn't look good. The Dark Knight doesn't look like shit. It's got a great Batmobile. It's got a great Gotham City.
It doesn't have a great Batmobile.
It's got a great active. Yeah, I think so.
It's a
tank.
Don't
mind it.
It's not a good Batmobile.
Yeah,
it's a fucking tank. It's supposed to be a car.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I can't believe you think that. Wait. I can't. All right. The Suicide Squad over the Dark Knight.
Because you know what?
Crazy.
If we're ranking comic book movies, I want to see a comic book movie. I don't want to see a realistic, gritty Batman.
Well, we're ranking DC movies.
I know, but like.
So not all of them. Like, yeah. I mean, I get that note, but like, like Joker's not a comic book movie, but like it's a great DC movie.
That's the thing. Like, I'm conflicted because I think The Dark Knight is a great movie. I do think it's severely overrated. Like, I think people are like, it's the best movie ever. I'm like, it's not even like top 10.
Well, no. I don't know if I agree with that, but I agree it's not one of the greatest movies ever. But Christopher Nolan has 3 better movies,
right? Like in his fucking, his chamber.
Like it's his fourth. To him, it's like his 4th best movie. But I still think it'd be the defining work of a lot of people's careers, and I do think it really was a groundbreaking new way of adapting characters from the source material. And I think it works in his story. And I think, like we talked about earlier, I think a lot of the replicas of it after don't work. But I think Christopher Nolan makes it work because he has that touch of like the scale with the intimacy of it. And I find it interesting.
Everything I like about The Batman is why I don't like The Dark Knight as much. Because in The Batman, he's a detective. In The Dark Knight, he just puts it on a screen and it auto-locates the bullet, and that's all he does as a detective. It's one thing, and he doesn't even do it. I think Lucius Fox does it. In The Batman, he's his voice, first of all, doesn't sound like shit. In The Dark Knight, his voice is terrible. In that whole series, his voice is terrible. It's like embarrassingly bad. Like I'm like every time he talks, I'm like, ugh, it's cringe.
I don't know. I
in The Dark Knight Rises, I know it's not The Dark Knight, but it's the same style. Robin is just some cop whose name is Robin. What the fuck are you doing? Like, it's this whole series strays so far from the source material.
Robin's not a character that you get in a lot of these solo Batman films anyway, so I don't mind that, because Robin is not the kind of the side, like, he was going for the grounded side, and Robin, for more or less, is not part of the grounded reality of Batman that you get. And I mean, you don't see him in The Batman either for that reason.
I know, but you can make it grounded and then have it be accurate. Like, The Batman, I think, is super grounded, and it's very accurate to the comics. This is not like the comics at all.
I don't think I just think that we have a difference of opinion when it comes to things needing to be just like the comics to adapt it from it.
Well, I wanted it to be. Like, I love Batman, and any change for him that I don't like, I'm going to be like, it should have been better. And you have the better stuff right there. So it's like, that's why, I mean, you think the Batman is better than the Dark Knight anyway.
Only by sliver where I said I keep flipping them back and forth.
Right, but one's accurate and one isn't. So if the Dark Knight stuck to the source material, maybe it would have been better.
Accurate to a fictional reality, it's just a different take on it.
But maybe if they had that take, it would have been better.
Tough word to use. I don't know. I think that's a hot take. You gave Get Out a 7.5 out of 10. Anyway,
and I don't like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking ending this podcast. Anyway. All right. Well, I like most of the films on your list because I've never seen Flashpoint, but I've heard it's a good movie.
It's really good.
The Batman is solid. I mean, I love the Suicide Squad, but that is you are on a roll of takes.
I know. We both had Superman at 3, though.
Yeah. We're both like, yeah, this is
pretty good.
Top 3.
This is pretty fucking good.
This is top 3. All right. Well, that's about it for Superman. That really dominated a lot of time.
This is a big DC tag. Big DC tag.
With some other stuff though that we're not quite done yet, folks. We're almost there, but we're not quite done. Any last things you want to say?
No, I'm ready to move on. Yeah, Superman was awesome. And that's it.
All right.
Go watch it.
So, Superman, as great as it was, is not the only thing that came out. Recently, a couple of TV shows came out. I'm going to start with the one that I soloed. But a lot of, when I went to your house a couple of weeks ago, a lot of your friends watched this show.
Really?
I was talking with them about it for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so The Bear, season 4 came out on Hulu, FX. And, I gave this show about a 10 out of 10, maybe like a 9.8 out of 10 for the season. Like, the show, all right, I would probably give this show, like the season, like a 9.8, but I'd give the show as back up to that 10 out of 10 territory of what they're doing. Because this is the message I want to get out about this show. You need to watch it. You really need to watch it. I tried. A ton of people do. I mean, it's a very popular show.
I tried. I got too bored.
How far did you get into it, though?
It's Lord of the Rings effect, where I watched the first 3 episodes, get bored, forget about it.
Yeah, but it's like
6
Breaking
months
Bad.
later, I'll watch the first 3 episodes.
You felt the same way about Breaking Bad, like, because the first season of Breaking Bad's not that great.
It's kind of boring.
It's fine. So you got to push through, man. But here's what I want to say about The Bear and season 4, because people say that the show never really is going anywhere, and I just don't agree with that. And people can go around and say that the show is about cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm sure you think of it as the cooking show, like the popular cooking show. And it is about that. But the truth is that The Bear is actually a show about family. And it's kind of along the themes of like Superman and hope and family. The Bear, I mean, it's not so much hope, but it's about like healing. It's about healing. It's about growth. It's about building a strong support system that helps break bad generational habits and help us grow as people. Like, that's what the show is really about. It's this journey of self-growth that we see characters like Carmy go on, we see Richie go on. Like, they all have their own versions of it going on that kind of connect together. And we see this portrayed throughout their relationships, like their individual relationships, because this show kind of has this growing band of characters and cast, and like there's a lot of like celebrity guest cameos that come on. Like season 4, like Brie Larson shows up.
I saw that. So like John Mulaney's in an episode.
John Mulaney's been in it a bunch of times. Not a bunch, but a couple times. Rob Reiner shows up in season 4 as a new one. But like even earlier on, like Bob Odenkirk is in the show. Jamie Lee Curtis is obviously a pretty big part. Like, there's a lot of people who show up in this. John Cena was in a cameo in this.
Dude?
Speaking of Peacemaker, bro, Peacemaker cameos everywhere. I swear to God, he was in The Bear as well. But like you see this, especially this season, like it's about Carmy and his relationship with his mother, who's Jamie Lee Curtis's character, and it kind of like goes through great lengths, the show and the season, to heal these wounds and generational trauma. And I just think that's such an important piece of art and like an important show to have out and a story to be telling, because like we see that a lot. Like another show that does that's like BoJack Horseman, right, where we see generational trauma really like presented in a way that shows how people grow up to become who they are. One of the best episodes of The Bear is season 2, episode 6, Fishes, which has all those like big cameos.
Is that the dinner table one?
Yeah, where they're like at Christmas and it's the Brazato family. And it was like that show, that episode is supposed to like showcase the real trauma and like the heightened dysfunction between these people and them at their worst. And in season 4, episode 7 is titled Bears, and they're at a wedding, and it's almost like the antithesis episode of the Fishes episode from season 2, because it's bringing all of these family members back, and they're all together again, and they're kind of dealing with the time that has passed. Like you think about anything that's happened in your life, anything that you've gone through, that you've struggled with, and then you have to deal with that or those people down the road years later. Like it's just healing it, and it was a very healing episode, and it just shows these characters going through that journey to better themselves on the other side. That's why I disagree with people when they say that the show isn't going anywhere. Because I think you see this development. Like if you were to watch season 1 and see Carmy and Richie and Sydney and Natalie and Marcus and Tina and all the characters, like the main characters, part of the kitchen, like, and you look at them now at the end of season 4, like where they're going, like they're completely different.
Well, as someone who's only seen the first 3 episodes, Tina pisses me the fuck off, dude. I hate that.
Why?
I hate her.
Why?
I hate that bitch.
Why?
She's so annoying. Every time Carmy wants to do anything, anytime Io Edeberry's character.
Io Debris.
Yeah, but I always pronounce her name wrong. Io Debris. My girlfriend made fun of me for it actually the other day. Io Debris. Every time she does anything, Tina's just like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. I'll fucking mess with you. Like, Tina, fucking do your job.
Yeah, well,
you're mean.
But, her, like, they all go through tremendous growth, and it really is like Anakin Zuko levels of character development. And it's interesting because you see this kind of reflected in this chaotic environment that they work and operate in. And so the show leaves off on quite an interesting cliffhanger, I guess, so to speak, about the fate of the restaurant and the people involved. And it was interesting because I remember hearing that season 5 wasn't initially definitely happening, but it is going forward, they confirmed. I wonder if it'll be the last season. Obviously, I'm not going into spoilers because you haven't watched it, and I want you to. But because there's way more I can say about it. But yeah, no, this show is great. I think this season really was very healing, and that's why I give it such a high rating. And it looks beautiful. It's so phenomenally made. There's really nothing like it on television right now.
Does the food look good?
The food. Oh, dude, I always get so hungry watching this show.
Then you try to make something, you're like, oh fuck.
Dude, it's so funny because they care so much about how the food looks. Like you'll see them like so carefully placing things. And I think about how the second I would dig into it, I would just like destroy how it looks. Like,
well,
all that hard
when
work
they give it to somebody, that's probably what happens.
Yeah, right? Like off camera, they're just like, all right, kids, dig in, and they just fucking destroy that shit.
It's a shame.
It's a beautiful show though. You know who else shows up in it? Will Poulter and Josh Hartnett are 2 other guys who
I saw clips
start
from Will
recurring.
Poulter.
Yeah, both in it. It's man, like I love this show. This was one of my favorites of the year last year when I got into it. It's one of my favorites of the year so far this year. And I'm sure at the end of the year when we're talking our top shows of the year, like this one's probably going to be up there for me. And I'm excited to see where they take it from here. And I'm excited to see the actors of this show branching out. Like Eben Moss-Bachrach is going to be the Thing in a couple of weeks, and he gives like some incredible performances as Richie in this show. So I'm just really excited about this show. I love it. And you know what? They spit seasons out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Like, that's the other thing. Like, the seasons 1 through 4, pretty much. So, I hope they don't take too long. And take too long to do it, because like we live in an age where that's not the norm.
Is this a show you can see kind of going on for a little bit longer, or is it like kind of coming to its end, do you think?
I could see because let's say the show ended where it was now.
Mm-hmm.
You could, but it wouldn't be the most satisfying ending.
Right.
But you could.
Like, how long could the show survive?
I mean, another season definitely would make to see where the story concludes, in my opinion. You could probably go another 2 seasons if you really wanted to. But beyond that, I think our characters are starting to reach a point of, like, if you were to describe a character arc as a literal arc,
yeah,
I think they're starting to reach that point over the peak of the arc.
So you'd max out at season 6?
Probably. Like, I'm not saying I would stop watching if I'm still interested in the show.
Yeah.
But at that point, I don't know where else the story would go, because the season 4, like, the seasons take place over time. It's not like over the course of a week. Like, this seasons take place over the course of months.
Right.
So I just don't know how much further they could go with it based on where we are at the end of season 4 with the restaurant and with the characters, and where it would like, even 2 seasons feels like a bit much. 1 more season makes a lot of sense. 2 more maybe, but after that, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
So that's The Bear. Highly recommend everyone watching. Obviously, this was a non-spoiler review, but it's great. And another show that came out, probably a little less great, but was once considered this great, is season 3 of Squid Game, which you had watched, and this was going to be a solo review until I fucking binged it over the weekend because I had nothing else to do, and I figured, why not?
You did your homework.
I did do my homework.
You want a quick?
You go first.
Yeah,
you go first with your thoughts.
Well, I'll just give my number first, and you give your number.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Give your rating.
Yeah. Okay, so my rating for Squid Game season 3, just season 3 itself, I give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I give it like I'll say 7 out of 10. I'll give it a low 7 out of 10, maybe like a 6.9.
And we're just gonna
I'll give it a 6.9 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. This is spoilers for Squid Game season 3, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear spoilers. I don't know. This show kind of sucks now. Like, it was so peak season 1, and then season 2 ending was terrible.
The show very much just lost focus of what was going on. I mean, season 2 wasn't terrible. I definitely was like, it was a cliffhanger. They could have gone a few different ways with it, but in season 3, it really felt like they just pushed the pedal on the doom and gloom, and just like, well, first of all, season 3 really is season 2.5. Like, it's just the second half of
a big
season
problem
2.
also.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really, obviously it had peak moments. Like, we're talking spoilers. Like, I didn't love how much the focus was away from 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
obviously when he is at the top of the tower with the baby, it's a really emotional moment, and it makes sense for his character to do that. Like, I wasn't mad that he chose that. It was more so how he got here. And I don't know. It just felt like they just wanted us to have like visceral responses. So they were like, oh, the mom's gonna kill her son and this and that. And it was just like, I'm not saying it needed a happy ending. That's not like the point. It just felt like it lost, like I said, it lost the focus. It just felt like things were going on now, and it was like kind of all of a sudden speeding to some weird conclusion.
I agree. Like, the mom kills her son, and then she hangs herself, and then the 222 jumps off the jump rope, and it's like all this shit's happening, and it's like, and the stuff with the boat and the detective, all that stuff should have happened last season, and this season should have been them infiltrating the island, like, undercover, Yeah,
that could have been cool.
That would have been cool. Instead, that happens in the final episode in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it just wasn't really interesting. And even then, they blow it up. Like, what really even...
Dude, the detective spent 2 full seasons looking for this fucking island, found it, and then in the last 2 minutes gets on the island. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then they don't even, like, because they blow it up and the games continue on anyway, because we know the games are in the United States.
And the frontman and Gi Hun, what kind of reunion was that?
Oh, when he's in the room and he
reveals
gives him
his
the knife?
mask, and he doesn't say a word to him. And I get you're mad, but like I wanted something, like him to be like, "Why'd you do that to me?" or explain yourself.
Yeah.
Like he has nothing.
Yeah, there was not enough. His character did feel very sidelined from the season 2 to this,
And they hint.
side.
I also
Kind of just watching the whole time.
I don't get how the games work, because they were clearly grooming 456 to be the next front man, right?
Yes.
And they show that this current frontman, player 001, he killed all the people in their sleep. He must have gotten the knife from the old frontman, killed all the people in their sleep, and won the games and became the next frontman. But in season 1, that wasn't an option for anybody. So do they do this every other year? You know what I mean?
But I think they make up the rules as they go.
But it was
clearly.
the same setup as like season 2's or that game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I think it's whenever they decide there is a new frontman that comes along or whatever. Like we don't know how long ago
That's
that
true.
was. Like
That's
I do
true.
think that because obviously they make up the rules to these games as they go, because the whole thing with the baby was unexpected and
Yeah,
things like
they're
that. So
like-
they're just fucking. Well, I don't even know. Apparently, it's not. Like they kind of tease that it was like they planted these people in the games, like with the VIPs and stuff. But
oh yeah,
I don't really understand how or why, and they never explain that. I don't really like the VIPs. I think they're so cringe.
they
and I just
talk
think-
so weird.
I think that's the point. I think they're supposed to talk like that,
Yeah.
but like it just the whole thing to me just never gets enough explanation. Are we supposed to get the explanation in the David Fincher American one? Is it even totally connected? Like we don't know.
I don't know. And I also don't like the stuff with the like carnival mascot lady who's one of the Squid Game guards. You know?
Yeah, and the connection to that one player because his daughter
Right.
had
Again,
cancer.
that kind of just goes nowhere. Like she just gets him out, but okay. Like I don't.
She goes back. She's gonna kill herself, and then she's like inspired by.
Right. But like I don't care
Gi-hun.
that he got out because I don't know. I don't give a fuck about this guy.
Yeah, I know. It was weird that they spent. Well, no, I think the idea is because he's the one who finds like the detective, and
I know, but they were like a mile
Like,
from the
that's
island.
supposed-
Like they were going that
I
direction
know the
anyway.
funny. I thought that was funny too. It's supposed to be like, wait, are you telling me that they really wouldn't have stumbled upon it if he wasn't there?
They're like, "Where's the island?"
I
and they
get that
look, and
that
it's
was-
right there.
Yeah, I was like, well, what about the fog? No, just drive. Like literally, just drive the boat like a little more.
Like keep
like,
going
right
the
there.
direction you were already going. Just go there like
Yeah,
30,
you're literally
40 more
like
feet. you'll
on
see
the
it.
way. Yeah, like imagine that's like the meme of the guy mining the diamonds, and he
I
stops
know.
like right before the fucking diamonds are there. It's
All
like, well, I guess
gamblers.
there's no Squid Game Island,
Yeah.
and it's just like turns around.
No, that
Yeah,
was
so I don't know. I thought it was a little.
It's just a
silly.
lot of side plots that were kind of just like useless at the end.
Yeah,
nothing paid
I mean,
off.
I always had maintained that the show should have ended after the first season, and they shouldn't have ended it with him like getting off the plane and going back. Like he should have just gone with his daughter. I do like that scene where the front man goes and brings the money and the tracksuit
I did
to
like
his daughter
that too.
though.
Yeah.
Like I did think that was a cool touch, and then he sees fucking just Kate Blanchett playing
Yeah.
Diaki.
He's a
in
great
his alley
character.
there. He is a great character, but we don't get enough of him.
He was my favorite part of season 2.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I thought something would happen. I thought he'd like, oh shit, he's
and the
gonna...
relationship between him and Gi-hun
Yeah.
was really interesting.
Which is
and
why I
you're
wanted
right.
more.
That's why I didn't mind the ending of season 2 where he gets betrayed and then his best friend from outside is killed and like, okay, where are we going? And then it's just like,
Yeah, you thought it'd lead to something.
you thought it would lead to something, and then it doesn't.
Yeah, he's really great. Again, I thought we'd have like more of a reunion with him and his brother too, the detective. Got
Yeah.
nothing from that.
Yeah. Which is a whole big thing from the first season too. That like betrayal. and then
I
just
know.
fucking-
It's like we really
goes
every
nowhere.
single side plot. Also, I mean, like I get Gi-hun was gonna die. I kind of figured he was gonna die, but I like how his whole purpose was to like save everybody in the game, and the detective took so fucking long that literally not a single person lived, except for that one guy who escaped. Like his whole purpose was like, I'm gonna go back and save
Dude,
everybody.
the one guy who escapes and then the baby.
Yeah, and like he was like, I'm gonna go back and save everybody. Every fucking player dies that he was gonna save except one, and then the new baby. Like the detective couldn't
Which-
just pick that shit up.
I mean, I don't mind because, like, again, it doesn't need to be a happy ending. It's tragic. Like, these people could have been saved and they weren't.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a decision that they made. And I get your criticism. I didn't hate that part as much, but you're right. It was just like, I don't know. I didn't love the way the people died. Like, obviously, the mother, 222, gets like, obviously it just dampens the sacrifice of the other character,
Right.
Then because like, oh, her ankle's fucking broken, so she just killed herself.
Well, it's the same thing with the mom
but
killing
like
herself.
obviously it's supposed to be like, anything to protect the mom kills herself because there's no reason for her left to live.
Well, I know, but she should have let her son fucking stab her then if she was just gonna die. Her son died for her pretty much because he couldn't kill her. And then she just kills herself?
That's actually a good point. I didn't even
because they were on opposites. He was a hunter, she was a hider.
Oh, well, she did it because he was going to kill the mother.
Right, I know, but like, because he wouldn't kill her. So like, he could have lived if he killed her, but then she like...
But she tried to let him and he wouldn't do it.
I know, he should have like, taken his hand and fucking stabbed her.
She had no choice, you know what I mean? Like, she did try.
I don't know. I just... What is your favorite... 2 questions. What is your favorite game of the series? Because the games are the best parts, of course. What's your favorite game of the series, and what do you think is the hardest game of the series?
Dude, I don't remember all of them. I wish you asked me that before on the pod. I would have looked up the ones that I don't remember.
Sorry, well, I can go through them real quick.
Yeah, go through them. Well, I remember the season 1 ones because they're iconic.
Okay, so...
The marble game. Dude, the hide and seek one was scary.
So we start off... with red light, green light. Then there's the sugar honeycombs.
Yeah.
Tug of war.
Yeah.
Marbles.
Yeah.
Glass bridge. And then
that one was
and Squid Game. And then in season 2, there's the 6-legged pentathlon, which is all those mini games. That was a great fucking episode. There's Mingle, where you have to get the same right amount of people in the room.
Yeah.
Hide and seek. Jump rope and Squid Game, which is the season 2 and 3 games.
All right, so what was my favorite and what do I think is the hardest?
Yeah.
All right. My favorite is either red light, green light. Well, it's probably a tie between that because that's the iconic one, and the mini game one that you said because that was just so
pentathlon.
Intense. Yeah, that was so intense. But the hardest, well, that's probably one of them because you rely on other people.
And we got the front man to play that one, which is so fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think the jump rope one actually looked hard as fuck.
Really? I thought that was kind of easy.
Especially with the break in the middle.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. I think it looked harder. I think you're underestimating that because it was going fast.
You think that's the hardest one?
And you have like a skinny walkway there. The glass bridge is also pretty hard because
I think glass bridge is the hardest one.
Like glass bridge is probably the hardest to win because it's just 50-50 the whole way and there's like nothing you can do about that.
And if the person in front of you doesn't go, you're fucked.
Yeah. But that's the same thing with the jump rope one. If the person in front of you doesn't go, you just had to keep jumping and like you get tired.
That's
like,
true.
I think those two are very similar because they're both about crossing. And I think those were the hardest ones probably to win.
I think my favorite was Mingle. I
was going to say Mingle too.
That was so intense. Like I definitely think that was like the scariest one because like everyone's scrambling for their lives, dude. It was so scary. And then I think the hardest one is glass stepping stones or whatever it's called.
Just anything where you had to cross those walkways, in my opinion, was like difficult and terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a good question though.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, so, okay, what do you think is the easiest game?
Well, if you get the triangle, then the trace one is the easiest because you just got to trace out the fucking triangle.
Dude, I think I would panic and still break the triangle.
Like that's probably the easiest one, right? Or red light, green light if you don't fucking move.
If you're not
then you're hoping no one pushes you.
Yeah. If you're not the first person to die, then red light, green light's easiest.
Why the first?
If you're not the first, if you see, because if you are the first, like if you're running and then you lose, like you'll just get shot and killed. But if you know that it's gonna happen, then it's the easiest.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm assuming you know. Like I guess because you're right, it's the first game, so you don't know. But let's say we know.
Yeah.
Like I would still say.
I think it's
either way. I think that's probably the easiest.
Yeah. Once I see someone get shot, I'd fucking freeze. So.
As long as like I would try to stay away from others because you don't want to get if someone pushes you, you're still gonna get shot.
Yeah. And if someone gets shot next to me, I would flinch.
Right.
100%
so that's like tough, but like if you can manage to stay still, all you gotta do is run across. So that's probably the easiest.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
That's all I have to say about Squid Game. It was kind of a mess.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Just what was once such a cultural phenomenon a few years back, I just feel like has been already, just watered down and like overdone.
I mean, that's what I said last time during the Seesaw. I said I was watching Squid Game. That was what I saw. And Netflix just has this tendency to just drop the ball on the last couple seasons of their shows. And Stranger Things, like I said, I'm hoping isn't the case, but Squid Game is a really good example of that.
The difference, though, is Squid Game really should have just been a limited series, and Stranger Things has been over multiple seasons. So that, to me, like, Squid Game just should have been Gi-hun in the games. Like, then they tried to build this whole big story about the games, and
now we're getting spin-offs.
I just don't think
fucking...
I just don't. Yeah, and like reality versions, and I just don't know. Is the appetite for Squid Game that large?
Not anymore.
Really? I don't think so.
Maybe after season 1, like I get it because it was like actually like a phenomenon, but now it's not.
But now, I feel like people move on.
People move on. They did.
I did. I feel like half the reason we watched it was to talk about it on here.
Yeah, I wasn't really excited.
By season 3, I only watched it because I knew it was the last one, and I figured I might as well finish it.
Exactly. Like I was excited for season 2.
Yeah, well, I was semi-excited.
Yeah.
But by season 3, it was like, okay, well, I might as well finish the show.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you on that.
Well, speaking of things we watch, why don't we finish this episode with Seesaw? I went first with the coin flip before, so why don't you go first?
Okay. Yeah. So something I want to see. I kind of mentioned it a little bit before. My brother's been watching it, and it looks really, really good. Is My Adventures with Superman. It's a TV show about Superman, starring Jack Quaid as Superman. And when I heard that was first announced, I was like, no way, what? And then I saw part of it while my brother was watching it, and I was like, holy shit, this looks awesome. And it looks really good. I definitely want to start watching that, especially with My Adventures with Supergirl coming out. I mean, not Supergirl, My Adventures with Green Lantern. Yeah, I guess that's not going to be in the DCU now that I think about it, because there's no way My Adventures with Superman obviously isn't in the DCU. So I wonder.
You said it was Jack Quaid.
Yeah, I wonder if they're in the same universe. They must be My Adventures of Superman and My Adventures with Green Lantern. But I'm excited for that Green Lantern show, and I definitely want to watch My Adventures with Superman. And something I saw recently, like the last week, I rewatched 2 movies that came out in 2025. 2 of my top movies that came out in 2025. I watched Thunderbolts, and then I watched Sinners. So this is a 2-for-1 in my Saw. Just 2 great movies. My reviews didn't change. I loved Thunderbolts. It was kind of like a mental health excursion for me. I was, not having a great day, and then I watched Thunderbolts, and I was like, okay, it's okay. It's okay to not have a great day sometimes. I'm not fucking Sentry, so that's fine. And then I watched Sinners. I watched it with my brother and my parents because they never saw it, and my brother's girlfriend, and they didn't love it. I loved it. My brother loved it, and they were like, you hyped it up too much. I didn't hype it up enough, dude. That movie's fucking awesome.
Look, I got to be clear about something. We gave Superman its flowers today for good reason. It was a phenomenal movie, one of the best of the year. But Sinners is still the movie of the year.
Sinners is both our number 1 movies of the year.
Like, it's still the number 1 movie of the year. Like, that's a movie we're gonna be talking about for years and years, I feel like.
And that was my first rewatch after seeing it in theaters, and it holds up at home. It holds up.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now.
Yeah.
I have yet to rewatch it.
You got it. Dude, I'll fucking come over and watch it with you right now. I love that movie.
Let's do it.
So,
you might run into the rain.
I wanted to shout out Thunderbolts and Sinners because we're eating good this year. We got some good movies.
I love it. We obviously spotlighted all of those on the podcast earlier, and for a good reason. I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
So something I saw recently is I just finished up season 2 of Poker Face on Peacock, starring Natasha Lyonne. This show, I don't know if you know anything about it.
I could have been in it.
Yeah, but do you know what it's about?
Yeah, a little bit. Natasha Lyonne's like a detective or something. I should have been in that fucking show, dude.
No,
I'm pissed.
She is someone who basically is like a human lie detector. Like, she always knows when you're lying.
Yeah.
And she like goes around. She's on the run, and she like gets caught in hijinks of different murder mysteries and stuff. And I just finished season 2, and I love it. I think it's a great show. It's a lot of fun, really entertaining. Natasha Lyonne steps it up. She directs some episodes this season, which I thought was really cool. And this is another show that has a lot of fun celebrity guest cameos. Another John Mulaney cameo. But also like Cynthia Erivo was on this season. Simon Helberg has come back. He's on it. Like just so many people. Oh my God, I can't even sit here.
Do you know who's in episode 4? Like what celebrities in that? Do you remember?
Season 2, episode 4.
Because that was the episode I was asked to be an extra in, and I couldn't do it. Let
me check real quick before we get off.
Yeah, I was asked to be an extra in season 2, episode 4. They're filming. I don't know what scene it was going to be, but they were. I got an email about it, and the same way I was in Happy Gilmore 2, which is coming out soon.
Oh,
which episode?
Okay, that was with Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, dude, that would have been sick.
Hold on, who else was in it though?
Oh, there's multiple celebrities in each one?
Usually there's a couple in each. Hold on, because I went to the actual Peacock app and it doesn't fucking say.
Should go on IMDb.
So, yeah. All right, in the episode, it is... Okay, Gabby Hoffman, Kumail Nanjiani, and then Steve Buscemi voice only because he does like a voice thing.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the season.
All right.
So you wouldn't have. But Gabby Hoffman and Kumail Nanjiani. So yeah, this is a fun episode where like Kumail Nanjiani plays a gator cop. Like he's a Florida man cop, and he has like a gator sidekick.
I could have been the gator.
And dude, you might have been the gator.
I would have been the voice of the gator.
Yeah.
That's
it's a good show, though.
Cool.
So anyway, yeah, I forgot. This was Seesaw. That's right. So that's what I saw. It's a lot of fun. And then something that I want to see, another show, is Alien Earth. We talk a bit about Alien on this show, and that's coming out. I don't know if you've seen any of the promotion for it.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it looks really sick. And obviously, it's the first time that the franchise of Alien is going to take place in like an actual real planet, being our own planet. So I'm really excited. I love that franchise. I love horror. I'm really excited to see where Hulu and FX go with it.
Yeah, I wonder what connections they're going to make to like Predator Badlands or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or definitely Alien Romulus. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some kind of connection there.
You still got to watch
Predator ones.
Predator Killer of Killers, dude.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch
on Earth.
that. I'm probably going to watch that close to when Badlands comes out, I think.
Yeah, you definitely should. It's gonna be it's fucking awesome, dude.
But that's about it.
Yeah, this was a long episode. Good one.
Dude, Killian's record lasted 1 week.
That's crazy. Well, I gotta edit some stuff, but maybe we'll see how long.
Yeah, but I think Killian's record only lasted
so.
1 week.
So.
Sorry, Kill.
No,
sorry, Matt Damon.
Thank you everybody watching this, especially you, Matt Damon. We'll miss you. We just missed you.
We just didn't have time for you this week.
Remember to follow us on all socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify at Box Office Dynasty. Comment your Bible study numbers for the film Bible. Just comment on anything. Leave a like, leave a follow, leave a comment. Send us a picture of your freaking balls. We don't care. Don't do that actually, but don't do that. Sorry, something just came out of me.
Don't send unsolicited ball pictures.
Send Josh a picture of some balls.
But it's okay because these are solicited because Jack just asked for it, so it's not.
That's true, but just send them all to Josh. Like, don't send them to the actual account. Send them to Josh's personal account. Link in bio.
Bro.
Anything else you want to add?
I'll add this. If I get even a single testicle in my DMs, I am quitting the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the fucking
over.
Police, dude.
Yeah. Restraining order activated.
Damn right. All right. Peace, y'all.
Summer of Superman, folks.
Damn right.
Have a good one.